So my name's Dante Sasso. I live in Amagansett, New York, right here. And I've been in Amagansett my whole life, and I'm 17 years old, almost 18. So in March, everything kind of just went crazy. We stopped going to school. I remember being at home in March, and it was actually my birthday. My birthday was the day before the last day of school. And just getting that email from the superintendent saying, we're off for 2 weeks, and then that turning into the whole year. It was just a complete shock. And before we even knew much about COVID, having that huge change to my life, and then spending all those hours at home with, only online school, it really changed my outlook on life a lot and caused me to do a lot of deep thinking about what I wanted to do in the future, where I maybe wanted to go to college. And so it was a pretty harsh turn, but I think it allowed for a lot more personal time and a lot of self-growth. During my time alone, I really watched a lot of science videos and did a lot of science academic reading, and it caused me to develop an interest for physics, and that's what I'm going to be hopefully majoring in college. So I don't know if I would have reached that same conclusion without COVID. And also, my parents own a fish store here in Amagansett, and during COVID, they actually sold it, and they were maybe helped by the increase in business, being able to sell from all the people coming from the city. So those two main factors were huge impacts on the trajectory of my life and my family's. Remember in the summer of COVID, I was hanging out with my friends a lot, and we just became good friends with this guy who had just moved out from the summer. And so it was cool to meet some new kids, but also one of my mom's friends works for the high school's administration, and she would have kids enrolling in both schools in the city and out here, and having increases of 20, 40 kids in the enrollment was a big shock to her. And so it definitely caused a lot more work for some of these school administrators. But on the other hand, us students were able to make some new friends, and some kids have developed lives in the city and out here. So it's had its positive and its negatives, but it's definitely been a shock for everyone. I've definitely become a lot more social over my 4 years of high school, and having that curveball kind of thrown in there, I don't know how much it affected it, but I definitely think it's caused me to be a little more cautious when interacting with other people, whether they be adults or kids, and being a little more hesitant to socialize with someone if I don't know if they're vaccinated or I don't know who they've been around. So it's definitely caused a change in my mindset when it comes with who I talk to, who I interact with. I think I've learned to make really good use of my time, and seeing all the free time I had back then, and now with college and with school now, just seeing the time crunch and how it will be in the rest of my life, learning to, enjoy the moment and be present how I'm living, and really just always have a lot of fun in life no matter what, because you never know what could happen, and curveballs can be thrown at you anytime, so always be prepared for the unexpected and enjoy the life I'm living now. I would say change. It was a big time for change in my life, with my parents selling our business and so many people moving out here and me thinking about my future. It was just a real shakeup in the world, and all in all, studies have said that COVID caused so much change in the world that was going to happen anyway, but it just accelerated all the change that was going to happen. And that's where I think the key idea of COVID was. It was just a big change in the way everything was done, and we see now with vaccines and masks, it's changed our daily lives in a lot of ways, and it's just had such a large impact on everything that's going to happen for the next many years that's the word I think comes to mind.